Darkness settles over the medieval streets of Strasbourg. The year is 1518. The air is hot, heavy, and filled with tension. People move quietly through narrow alleys, whispering prayers, unaware that something unimaginable is about to begin. It starts with a woman named Frau Trophea. She steps into the middle of the street and begins to dance. There's no music, no festival, just the rhythmic slap of her bare feet against the stone. Her arms flail, her body twists, and her eyes stare ahead as if she's trapped in an invisible trance. Hours pass, but she doesn't stop. People gather, watching in disbelief. By the next day, she's still dancing, trembling, exhausted, but unable to rest. And then, others begin to join her. Dozens of people flood into the streets, moving uncontrollably, men, women, even children, dancing without reason, without pause. Within a week, there are hundreds. Their feet bleed, their muscles tear, but still they dance. Some collapse from exhaustion, only to rise again moments later, as if pulled by something unseen. The city spirals into panic. Strasbourg's leaders are terrified. Physicians call it a natural illness, a sickness of the blood, and recommend a cure that would soon prove deadly. They build stages and hire musicians, believing that music would help the dancers release their fever through movement. The result is chaos. The music only fuels the frenzy. The dancers spin faster, collapsing one by one. As the streets fill with bodies, others turn to faith for answers. Priests declare the plague a punishment from Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and the afflicted. Victims are carried to his shrine, where exorcisms are performed. But nothing stops the madness. Day after day, the dancing continues, and no one knows why. Centuries later, scientists and historians still struggle to explain what really happened. One theory blames a fungus called ergot, a toxic mold that grows on damp rye. It can cause violent convulsions and hallucinations, the same fungus that would later inspire LSD. Perhaps the people of Strasbourg had unknowingly eaten poisoned bread, their minds and bodies twisting under its effects. It seems logical, but it doesn't fit. Ergot poisoning causes chaos, not rhythm. It drives people into spasms, not synchronized motion. Yet the dancers of Strasbourg moved together, as if caught in a shared rhythm, as if something inside them connected. Another explanation is psychological. Some believe the city suffered a collective mental breakdown, a mass hysteria born from terror and despair. In 1518, famine had left people starving, disease was everywhere, faith and fear ruled their lives. Perhaps the overwhelming stress broke something deep in the human psyche, but even this theory has cracks. Starvation and fear might explain trembling hands or fainting, but not weeks of ceaseless motion. The dancers didn't simply lose control, they became part of something they couldn't escape. And so another question arises, one darker, more spiritual. What if belief itself became the infection? In an age where religion shaped every breath, where saints and curses were as real as the ground beneath their feet, one woman's uncontrollable dance might have ignited a spark in the collective mind. A city, terrified of sin, could have turned fear into ritual, and ritual into death. The chronicles of the time describe faces twisted in agony, bodies moving as if possessed, people begging for help even as their legs continued to move. Some danced until their hearts failed, others collapsed and never rose again. The priests prayed, the doctors watched, the music stopped, but the dancers did not. And then, as suddenly as it began, it ended. By September, the madness faded. The survivors were broken, many crippled for life. Families buried their dead, and the city tried to forget. But the memory remained, the summer when people danced themselves to death. What truly caused the dance plague? No one knows. But it wasn't the first time Europe had seen something like it. Records tell of similar outbreaks. In Germany, France, and the Netherlands, entire communities overtaken by uncontrollable movement. Some called it Saint Vitus's curse, others the devil's dance. Whatever name it bore, it came without warning, consumed the living, and disappeared. It's as if the phenomenon moved through history like a ghost, appearing, vanishing, and leaving behind only questions. Modern science still searches for answers. Was it ergot poisoning, psychological contagion, or a forgotten virus that vanished with time? Perhaps it was something beyond medicine, something that lived in the human spirit, waiting for the right moment to return. Because the truth is, we still don't fully understand how belief, fear, and the mind intertwine. The dance plague reminds us that the body can become a prisoner of the mind, and that in times of darkness, hysteria spreads faster than any disease. The people of Strasbourg danced for reasons they could not name, driven by forces they could not see. Their story is both a warning and a mystery, a glimpse into how fragile our understanding of reality can be. And maybe that's why the tale endures, because the idea of a dance that kills, of a rhythm that cannot be resisted, still haunts us today. So when you hear the beat of distant music, when your foot starts to move without you thinking, remember the summer of 1518, when the world danced and death kept the rhythm.